rise of the Necrons and the arrival of other powers on Cronus was a threat the Tau Empire could not ignore. With their doctrine built firmly around the so-called greater good, the Tau could not tolerate seeing a thriving colony taken away from them. The Ethereals, leaders of the Empire, responded to the distress signals from Cronus by sending some of their best and brightest to retake the world. Aunel Shiorez was among the most lauded of a new generation of the ethereal caste. He would be responsible for restoring proper order to this wayward world. With him came the military leader, Shas Okais, a student of the teachings of Commander Puretide. Okais brought a massive force of fire-caste warriors, as well as auxiliaries from the Tau's allied races, the Kroot and the Vespid. Tau ground forces landed in the city of Tashin, or Ashadis, to use his true imperial name. And from there began the crusade to retake the planet as a whole.
Ethereals, protect us!
Creatures, at long last you have found the tranquility of death. I was like you once, clinging to life and blind to the truth. When I uncovered the truth, I too shuddered and paled with fear. Deep in these catacombs, I was remade. Here, my brethren slumbered for eons, while the living grew like weeds. My lord knew this day would come. He had plans for us all. We would purge this world once more. So come, poor victims of life. We will grant you tranquility in these crypts. Cronus will be a tomb world once more. Escaping. My lord, the living have...
Okais' drive into the Necron catacombs relied heavily on the stealth and speed of his forces to deliver a fusion bomb to the heart of the deathless enemy's power. His gambit succeeded, although he left many soldiers behind him. In the wake of the battle, Onel Shiorez directed the creation of a vast research complex on the Thur Abyss Plateau. Under the protection of Fire Warriors, the scientists of the Earth Caste began the slow process of studying the technology used by the Necrons. The few pieces of Necron weaponry and smashed warriors that did not fade out of existence were subjected to very close scrutiny indeed. Whether or not the Tau Empire was ever able to make use of this ancient and loathsome technology is unknown. But their weaponry continues to advance, much to the chagrin of the Imperial forces facing them in combat.
Fifth Company, this is the moment of truth. You will not fear. You will not falter. You will not give a single step to the enemy.
But sir,
If you will not serve in combat, then you will serve on the firing line.
Enemies of the Imperium, hear me. You have come here to die. The immortal Emperor is with us, and we are invincible. His soldiers will strike you down. His war machines will crush you under their treads. His mighty guns will bring the very sky crashing down upon you. You cannot win. The Emperor has given us his greatest weapon to wield. So make yourselves ready. We are the 1st Cronus Regiment, and today is our victory day.
Pick your targets. Keep firing. Keep firing. Eat plasma fire.
the command post is gone. We can't hold them back much longer. We can't allow the Titan cannon to fall into their hands. Overload the core.
For the Emperor! Don't let the prey get away!
Although other powers on Cronus threatened the Tau forces there with outright extermination, the Imperial Guard forces, centered in Victory Bay, threatened the legitimacy of the Tau claim to the world. Given the aliens' unshakable faith in their own cause, this was in many ways the greater threat. And Okais led his forces into Victory Bay as crusaders against heresy more than anything. This drive ultimately overcame the defenses set up by Governor Militant Alexander's forces. In the aftermath of the battle, the Tau rounded up the surviving guardsmen and established a re-education camp in an attempt to make them betray the God Emperor and embrace the Tau cause. Many resisted, most notably a Kasserkin squad which managed to escape into the countryside and launch a small guerrilla campaign. But others succumbed and surrendered all they knew to the Tau. In the years to come, the forces of the Imperium would have reason to rue this last betrayal, as Tau forces struck at weak points on several planets.
The enemy is at our doorstep and thinks he can push us off this world. He is already gloating. He can taste his victory. But what he fails to see is that we will make this his last meal. The Chief Librarian has ordered the purge of this world to protect our chapter's secrets. Are we to retreat with our duty unfulfilled? Are we to let a black mark stain the banner of the Blood Ravens? I say that we will not. I say our enemies will regret the day they ever decided to face us in battle. Our battle barge orbits overhead and will rain the Emperor's holy fury upon our opponents. More of our brothers will come to join the fight. But as ever, our enemy outnumbers us. Each of you must be an army in your own right. Veterans of the First Company, the finest of the entire chapter, stand with us. Let their valor guide your fire into the enemy's heart. Remember that we are Blood Ravens, brothers. We have all sworn to protect fonts of hidden knowledge. Each one of us must fall before handing this word to the enemy. The Emperor is with us. The unknown Primarch is with us. They have come for our blood, but they will drown in their own.
Must be preserved. Get Captain Fuel to the Thunderhawk. Understood. Join them, Brother Apothecary. We will cover your escape. And you? We cannot allow the enemy to claim our relics. This area must be cleansed with orbital fire. The chapter will honor you, brother. There is no honor to be had in defeat. But someone must deliver the targeting beacon. Orbital control. Lock onto this beacon and fire. Full power.
Tau forces and Space Marines had clashed on Cronus during the Damocles Gulf Crusade. But these had been small hit-and-run engagements. The Tau assault on North Vandia was something else altogether, with Okais leading his troops in an assault on the entrenched and well-defended Blood Ravens. Warriors of the Emperor, the Space Marines left many Tau and Kroot dead, but were unable to hold back Okais' tide. When the Blood Ravens left Cronus, many of their finest soldiers lay dead in North Vandia. In the Blood Ravens, Onel Shiorez saw what he considered the worst of the Imperium of Man. The Ethereal called their faith madness, and their purge of Cronus murder on a global scale. He chose, thus, to preserve the remains of the Space Marine fortress in North Vandia as an example of the opposition the greater good faced in the wider galaxy.
You can sneak about without me boys seeing ya? You think you can come for me, Ed? Orcs is never beaten in battle. Shut it, you grot! The rest of them are coming and we got to be ready. Tell the boys there's some killing to do. I made them big banners to remind the clans that they better keep their boys in line. I don't want no squigheads looking to fight me when the enemy's right here. Gorguts is the war boss. Got it, you mudsuckers? This here voicey box let him talk to you. So open your ears. Listen up, you grots and squids. They's coming for us like we some kind of human kits, but we ain't. We's the orcs, and this here is gonna be one great fight! So get your choppers and your shooters ready, boys, cause there's some killing to do. Ed Crossers, you ready? Foot stompers, you squiggers and saps ready? Burner boys, you wanna fight? Rocket Rangers, you in it or surprise for you.
The boss? Who is getting shot up?
Ain't you the master of the obvious? Use explosives.
The what?
The bomb, you git. The bomb. Always have your tunnels dug and ready. You sure is smart, boss. Shut it, you git! I got me a whole war to rebuild. Now get me the gawk off of this here planet.
The legendary Tau commander Farsight had led troops on Cronus some decades before the Dark Crusade and had smashed the orc horde of the war boss Bonecracker. Okais studied Farsight's tactics and used them in his assault on the Green Ghost. By eliminating Warlord Gorguts, he plunged the orc horde into a cycle of infighting that effectively took them out of the battle for Cronus. Still, Aonel Shorez was hardly pleased that Cronus' jungle remained infested with feral orcs. Even with other opponents still to fight, the Ethereal directed significant numbers of fire warriors and Kroot carnivores to hunt the remaining orcs, taking back 1 square kilometer of jungle at a time. The Kroot proved the most successful here, taking over much of the ecosystems of these areas in order to hunt down the orcs. Soon, the jungles of Cronus resembled the Kroot homeworld of Pesh more than anything.
With the 37 keys of Zinch, we open the way for our brothers. With the 1,000 whispers of Slanesh, we call to them. With the 12 plagues of Nurgle, we fell their enemies. And with the mighty axe of Khorne, we cut open the world for them.
Yes. Come forth to bear the word of chaos. Hear my warnings, unbelievers, carried to your minds by the power of the Prince of Excess himself. We have raised altars in this land so that we may sacrifice you to our gods. Veterans of 10 millennia of unholy war wait to grind you beneath the treads of their mighty boots.
The chosen of Khorne hunger to add you to their bloody tally.
The Blood God himself has marked this land and will claim your skulls for his throne.
There is no hope in opposing the inevitable.
Put down your arms, unbelievers, and bow before the forces of chaos undivided.
It is a poor shepherd who blames his flock apostle. This failure is yours and yours alone.
No, I will not go to the Basilica of Torments again.
Fear not, apostle. The Basilica is reserved for those who may redeem themselves.
No. No!
You will have no No such chance.
The Tau forces who came to Cronus had not fought any major battles against the agents of chaos, and could not know the madness that awaited them. Nevertheless, Okai's forces held strong, refusing to give in to the demons and heretics. The Force pushed forward and finally disrupted the black enchantment that had brought the Chaos Space Marines to Cronus. Somewhat miraculously, not a single of the Tau soldiers fell into warp heresy during the assault. In the wake of this battle, however, the soldiers of the Fire Caste struggled to understand just what they had witnessed. Onel Shiorez acted quickly to preserve his forces against the power of heresy. He ordered that all structures and ritual artifacts on the peninsula be leveled and the area sealed off under guard. Crute carnivores who had partaken of the flesh of dead Chaos Space Marines and cultists were ruthlessly hunted down, lest the taint make its way into their gene matrix.
All is prepared.
Excellent. Exarchracanus, take your warp spiders to their positions and then return to the Aspect Shrine.
We are on our way.
You have doubts, Harlequin?
I trust in your vision, tall deer of Oathway, but to stand surrounded by primitives makes me uneasy.
I understand your distaste, but Eldar rely on speed and stealth. We are not made for entrenched positions. The Orcs, however, make for excellent tools. They will keep the supply roads closed and our true enemies weak.
And if these attackers defeat the Orcs?
I do not doubt they will overcome our cat's paws, but it will cost them. And in their weakened state, they will face the wailing doom itself. The Seer Council has named the young king. Exarchracanus of the Warp Spider Shrine shall sacrifice himself to awaken our most powerful warrior, the Avatar of Cain.
None shall escape my wrath.
To us now. We are trapped on this world. The Avatar of Cain has fallen. Go, all of you. Find what refuge you can in the wilderness of this world.
Escape is still possible, Farseer.
I do not deserve that title, Harlequin. My vision has failed us all. My fate is here, and I shall not flee from it.
Dark Crusade represented one of the first major clashes between the Tau Empire and Eldar forces. Both alien powers favored speed and stealth, and both employed a variety of inhuman technologies. Ultimately, the young surpassed the old, and Okais forces overran the Eldar in Tyria. The Tau forces were very keen to learn the secrets of Eldar technologies. Negotiations for the release of Eldar prisoners could begin only after hostilities ended on Cronus. In the meantime, Watercast diplomats conducted extensive interviews with all Eldar prisoners. Earthcast scientists, meanwhile, dissected and analyzed the technologies of the Eldar. Although the Tau quickly analyzed Eldar laser and shuriken weapons, more esoteric weapons like the warp-powered distort cannon and the nature of the wraithbone material used in so much Eldar construction proved much harder to crack. With the last enemy stronghold broken, the Tau hold on Cronus became secure once again. The task force sent from the Tau homeworld remained on the planet to secure it, and soon thereafter, further waves of settlers and colonists arrived from across the Empire. The humans left on Cronus found life increasingly difficult for them. Many had embraced the Imperial return, and now found themselves subject to re-education or other penalties. Intensive colonization by Tau and Kroot led to a rapid demographic swing, with the human population dwindling to less than 5% a decade after the Dark Crusade. Although no public announcements were ever made to this effect, it seems clear that human births on Cronus also dropped precipitously. In part, this is due to the single-gender re-education camps imposed by the Tau. But it is also possible that the alien powers undertook some form of sterilization project, all for the so-called greater good. Whatever the truth, when Cronus was admitted as a full sept of the so-called Third Sphere, its human population was but a footnote.